quality drink mix at an affordable price. Rasna Drink Mix. With over 5 delicious flavors to choose from, a 25-gram pack makes up to 1 liter of drink. There is no need to add sugar. Unlike other drink mixes, Rasna is made with all natural flavors and is low in sugar. It also contains 5 essential daily vitamins and minerals. Rasna Drink Mix is available nationwide. For more information, call us on 233-2473. Rasna, endorsed by celebrities.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Hello and welcome to your news at noon that comes to you with the compliments of Rasna Drink Mix. I am Kevin Smith. Let's get to the top stories we're tracking. Kaieteur block owners flipped block without doing any work. Conflict between EPA and petroleum laws potentially disastrous. Guyana must fast-track law reform, says the IDB. Fired anti-narcotic officer, woman hauled off flight. And City Council divided over hiring of new town clerk and others. Meanwhile, minor found murdered at a drinking spot. Stay tuned to stay informed.
The government of Guyana has begun the rollout of the COVID-19 $25,000 household cash grant. Citizens are being advised that there is no pre-registration requirement. Clearly identified distribution clerks under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance will visit the respective households to verify credentials. Following this exercise, distribution will be done on a house-to-house basis. In cases where there are multiple households in one home, only the principal householder will receive the cash grant in the first instance. However, the other householders will be required to provide their information on a pink form, and following verification, they will receive the cash grant. The $25,000 household cash grant is in keeping with the government's promise to provide economic relief during the COVID-19 pandemic.
And now for the news in detail. Just as the owners of the Kanji block flipped the license without doing any work, the owners of the Kaieteur block sold a large stake to ExxonMobil without doing what they committed to do under the contract. By signing on to the contract, the companies agreed that they would have the technical, managerial, and financial competence to carry out the exploration of the ultra-deepwater Kaieteur block. Ratio Energy, now known as Kaieteur, and which had received a 50% stake in the block, is directed by Guyanese Ryan Pereira and Canadian Mike Kaywood, who had no experience in oil and gas prior to receiving the Kaieteur block. In other news, even though the PPPC has given a commitment to modernize the legal framework for the oil industry, the IDB has pointed to some troubling areas of disharmony in the local laws, which underscore the need for the government to act swiftly. The IDB explained that the areas of legal conflict exist between the EPA Act and Regulations on Petroleum Exploration and Production Act. The bank noted that there is a significant conflict when one turns to the environmental standards set out by the petroleum laws for the issuance of petroleum prospecting and production licenses. Taking this into account, the bank said it is crucial that Guyana addresses as soon as possible the disharmony between these two acts, as it believes that they are potentially disastrous for Guyana, particularly but not only if an oil spill were to occur. In other news, a senior official of the now shuttered National Anti-Narcotic Agency was taken off a flight to the United States of America for alleged fraud. Refused permission to leave Guyana over the weekend was Leon Carr, the former deputy director of the agency. According to officials, Carr and a woman, Candace Van Kay, were both set to leave Guyana for the U.S. on board an Eastern Airways flight. However, it appears that GRA had blacklisted Carr from leaving over unpaid taxes. Carr was also said to be a principal of OPSEC International Guyana Inc., a private security company that works for mining companies like Rusal Bauxite Company for Guyana. Let's tell you now that members of the MNCC are mulling the issue of hiring a new town clerk and several other administrative staffers. So far, councillors have expressed a divided opinion on the matter, which was raised during a statutory meeting held at City Hall yesterday. Councillors raised concerns over a motion to vote on the Local Government Commission decision not to approve a list of potential staffers for the MNCC. According to its letter, which was read to the council by acting town clerk Sherry Jerrick, the LGC had deliberated but not approved the appointment of a number of persons for several key positions within the council. Among those listed but not approved, according to the correspondence, were Sherwin Benjamin for the post of town clerk, Samuel Paris as assistant town clerk, and 4 other persons who applied for key administrative roles within the council. Let's tell you now that a miner was on Sunday murdered in front of a shop at Quartz Stone Landing, Kaieteur River, Region 7, hours after enjoying his salary. 33-year-old Allansford Consford Sargon was slain at around 4 hours 30. According to information, Sargon's boss, a dredge owner of West Coast Berbice, had a washdown and had paid his workers at around 21 hours. Upon receiving his pay, Sargon reportedly left camp and headed to the Quartz Stone Landing. There, Sargon was seen at a liquor shop imbibing with friends. It is clear as to what led to him being murdered hours later in front of the said shop. Nevertheless, the shop owner said that he was awoken by an individual who told him that the miner was killed in front of his premises. It is believed that his killer might have stabbed him to the head before slitting his throat. You are tuned into Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM, and this is your news at noon. Coming up after the break, Minister Edgell says 40 companies express interest for construction of new Demerara Harbour Bridge. Do stay tuned.
Child sexual abuse can stay with a person for life. It can rob them of their childhood. It's an unforgivable, unforgettable, despicable act. And yet, children suffer this abuse every day. During these times, we must keep a watch out for children. If you suspect child abuse, report it to the police without delay or call the CPA hotline on 227-0979. Protect children now.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
The government of Guyana has begun the rollout of the COVID-19 $25,000 household cash grant. Citizens are being advised that there is no pre-registration requirement. Clearly identified distribution clerks under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance will visit the respective households to verify credentials. Following this exercise, distribution will be done on a house-to-house basis. In cases where there are multiple households in one home, only the principal householder will receive the cash grant in the first instance. However, the other householders will be required to provide their information on a pink form, and following verification, they will receive the cash grant. The $25,000 household cash grant is in keeping with the government's promise to provide economic relief during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. According to the Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgell, roughly 40 companies have submitted their expression of interest for their pre-qualifications to the government as they look to secure the contract for the design and construction of the new state-of-the-art Demerara Harbour Bridge. The construction of the new bridge, a hallmark project in the PPPC manifesto, is set to land in Nandi Park on the east bank of Demerara from Lagrange on the west bank. This 4-lane high-span fixed bridge, which is commonly referred to as a flyover bridge, is set to be built with the lifespan of 50 years and will not require opening or retraction to allow for maritime traffic. In September, President Irfan Minister Edgell, along with a team of engineers, inspected 4,000 feet of land in the vicinity of Windsor Estate, where the bridge is set to land. Meanwhile, it will cost the PPPC administration an estimated $34 million each month to purchase power for the Giftland Mall in order to compensate for the shortfall of electricity badly needed. Giftland's owner Roy Bipat explained that a huge part of the sum will be expended monthly on fuel. Bipat said that the power itself would cost around $9.9 million per month, while fuel cost is estimated to be $29.5 million. Meanwhile, yesterday, almost 3 months after the horrific accident that claimed the life of a 45-year-old garbage collector, Zamir Isafani, the driver of the canter that was involved in the accident was released on $600,000 bail. The defendant, Sean Walters, made his first appearance in the Sparendam Magistrates Court before Magistrate Rochelle Liverpool. Walters was not required to plead to the indictable charge of causing death by dangerous driving. However, the Administration of Justice Act was applied, thereby allowing the defendant to answer the charge. He pleaded not guilty, and the matter was adjourned to November 17, 2020. In other news, a motorcyclist was yesterday morning killed in an accident. The accident, which involved a motorcycle and a motor car, occurred at the intersection of Sheriff and Dadawana Streets in Camberville, Georgetown. The victim has been identified as 68-year-old Dion Moniz of East La Penitence, Georgetown. According to a police report, at around 5 hours 15, a 43-year-old man was proceeding north along the western lane on Sheriff Street, while Moniz was proceeding south along the eastern lane on Sheriff Street on a motorcycle. It is reported that as both vehicles approached Dadawana Street, the driver of the motorcar turned east and collided with the motorcycle. As a result of the collision, the deceased was flung into the eastern gutter on Sheriff Street. Let's tell you now that following the passage of the emergency $330 billion budget, the government is now in a rush to expend the remainder of funds on projects before the end of the fiscal year. With this, NPTAB on Tuesday last opened over 725 bids for 65 major governmental projects at their Ministry of Finance office on Main and Urquhart Street, Georgetown. And now for your COVID-19 update. The number of worldwide coronavirus cases, according to Worldometer, has reached 43,952,991, with deaths at 1,166,886. Recovery cases has reached 32,285,957. The Ministry of Health announced 2 new COVID-19 cases yesterday. This is the lowest number of cases Guyana has recorded over weeks of having high case numbers daily. The new cases bring the total number of confirmed cases to 4,026. The dashboard also shows that 15 persons are in the COVID-19 ICU. The death toll remains at 119 as no new deaths were recorded. Coming from CNN, the fall surge in COVID-19 infections added nearly 500,000 cases to the U.S. national total in just 1 week. Meanwhile, the 7-day average of new cases in at the highest level since the pandemic began, according to Johns Hopkins University. WHO's Director General said giving up on control of the virus is dangerous and called for an end to politicization of COVID-19. Meanwhile, Australia's Victoria State reported no new cases in the past 24 hours for the second consecutive day. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. Remember, the news came to you with the compliments of Rasna Drink Mix. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Now available, a superior quality drink mix at an affordable price. Rasna Drink Mix. With over 5 delicious flavors to choose from, a 25-gram pack makes up to 1 liter of drink. There is no need to add sugar. Unlike other drink mixes, Rasna is made with all natural flavors and is low in sugar. It also contains 5 essential daily vitamins and minerals. Rasna Drink Mix is available nationwide. For more information, call us on 233-2473. Rasna, endorsed by celebrities.